Professor of Intelligent Transport Systems at Newcastle University. Thanks for coming on the programme.
Hi, good evening, Liz.
So we're going to get used to these hot temperatures. We're going to have to try and prepare for them in all sorts of ways. How prepared is the rail network, in your view?
I think the rail network has been working hard to react to reality that we're going to have more extreme weather and higher temperatures. But there's a lot can go wrong, and although tracks have been replaced so they can cope with the expanding steel of the rails a little better, and also with the overhead lines which expand as they heat up. They've got auto tensioning. There's always a possibility that there could be accidents, and I think, just to reiterate what we said previously, the UK rail network is one of the safest in the world, and certainly one of the things the Rail Accident Investigation Board really ensures is that we learn from the mistakes. But I mean, obviously, the hotter the weather we get, and the extremes are going to get worse, I believe, as we move forward. We've got to prepare for that, and it's really tricky and very expensive.
Okay, we'll come back to the cost in a moment, because I do want to ask about that. How do countries who are used to the heat, how do they cope? What happens there?
I mean, they build their railways slightly differently to us. They tend to use concrete and lay the tracks on concrete, so the tracks can't move as much. They can create pressure but not move. And they've always designed their system for hotter weather, so they've done things that we haven't had to do in the past. We've been more concerned about other extremes of weather, particularly rain and wind. And so we've got to learn from that. And I think the railways are, but there's a long way to go to ensure that the entire network is perfect. And bear in mind, the extremes of temperature we've been getting are way beyond what we would have expected even a few years ago.
And is there money in the system here to carry out these works? Because the scale of the infrastructure is huge. That's
the challenge. It costs a lot of money and takes time. And obviously, government has a lot of other priorities on its plate. But at the end of the day, if we can't make our transport system resilient to the impacts and extremities of climate change, we're going to be in real trouble in the future. I know they're producing the DfT is producing a resilience strategy, which should be published in the next month, where it will put onus on the infrastructure owners like Network Rail and National Highways to do more, and they are doing a lot. But it's a real challenge.
Phil Blythe, thank you so much for coming on the programme.
Okay.